Welcome to Post Game on the Pitch, brought to you by CascadiaSports.net and Radio Cascadia. Just because the two guys are here, they're wonderful. That is John Marshall to my left and Stephen Agen to my right. Hey, Sounders beat Club Leon first leg 3-0. Missed chances late on. Stephen, we talked about this in the press box. They could have had 4, they could have had 5. What's your take? You win 3-0, points.
It was 2 at halftime. I think getting the third makes a big difference, right? 2, something that you can give up very, very quickly on the road, but 3, harder to screw up.
Okay, but you talked about, remember we talked 4 and 5. What was your thoughts?
Oh, sure,
in terms of that?
if you get a fourth, if you get a 4th or a 5th, then the tie is virtually killed off. I think we all agree. And what can't be argued is that Sounders had plenty of chances to get it tonight.
So, disappointment?
I think that third goal really is the difference between this being a disappointment and a success. If that third goal doesn't come in the game, you end up sitting here going, 2-0, going to Leon, difficult tie to take down there, and you're really missing those chances. Getting that third goal gets that cushion to the point where it's a little bit more comfortable. And we're not going to be sitting here saying that the 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer or scoreline in soccer, or that idiom that always gets said.
Fair enough. Brian talked about the transition. He said they wanted to make a point today that they could play at home because they weren't playing with up-tempo. Their transition game. What did you guys think of their transition today?
It's interesting. Leon had a lot of the ball, way more of the ball than Sounders ever give up at home, and yet Sounders had almost all the dangerous chances, and I think that says it all right there about their transition. They didn't need the ball to be dangerous, to be goal dangerous, to score goals. I don't think anybody who watched that game qualitatively thought it was a 70-30 Leon possession match. And that is to the credit of Sounders in their transition and their ability to be dangerous in limited opportunities on the ball.
30% was goal dangerous, to Stephen's point. What about the 70? What was it the Sounders were able to do so that the 70 was ineffective?
They did a lot of higher pressure on the Leon back line when they're playing out of the back, playing from their defense. And as Spencer said, being selective as to when they would put that pressure on and when to ease back. So they really made everything difficult for Leon in the final third. They made Leon have to try and pass from one side to the other instead of being able to cross with one easy cross, switch the field. Nico Moreno was talking about how Leon likes to suck defenses up the field and then chip the ball over the top. Sounders never let them do that tonight. They stayed really compact. They stayed really disciplined, and were, in many cases, first to the 50-50 ball more often than not. So I think that defensive determination, the mindset and energy they had out there to put that heavy pressure on and be constant and disciplined at doing it really made the difference tonight.
You're on record as saying this is one of the top 5 performances by a Major League Soccer team in CONCACAF play. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think statistically you can make that case for sure. We were working it out in the press room, and I think it's the 4th time that an MLS club has won by 3 goals. Don't think anybody's ever won by more than that, but 4th time an MLS club has won by 3 goals against a Liga MX club in Champions League. This had the distinction of Sounders dominating so thoroughly that we're here talking about what if they'd scored more. I just want to mention, I don't think it would have been a disappointment if they only won 2-0. I think it would have been a missed opportunity, and that's what we're here talking about still, is whether not getting more was a missed opportunity. And 3 so many, you have to collapse so bad on the road that I don't think anybody's that worried. So
yeah, let that go, Izzy. Nicely said, well said.
Yes.
So you're up 3-0, you're going down there. All right, let's put this to rest. Okay, they went 3-0. Let's talk about the LA Galaxy real quickly as we close up here. How do you take this win into an MLS soccer game in which you are 0-2? This is your 3rd match of the season. What do you need to do?
Yeah, Brian Schmetzer said in the press conference that the most important game right now is LA Galaxy. The next one on their schedule, they're not looking forward to Leon. They're not planning on, resting guys for the Leon match, according to, if you're reading between the lines, what Schmetzer was saying there in the press conference. It sounds like they're going to go into that game with all intentions of taking 3 points, not trying to be cautious with a Champions League tie coming up afterwards. they're going to need to find some of that energy that they've had in these CONCACAF Champions League matches. The two that they've played at home in particular here have been very high energy, very lots of goals, obviously, with 8 in those 2 games. That's that energy, that success, that sharpness needs to then translate to the MLS schedule and the league play, where so far this season they've really been lacking.
Right, they're 0 for 2. Today is, what's today? Today's Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. You play on Saturday. Do you need to change anything?
I think you do have to change things. I think this is a spot where it's worth acknowledging that what a coach needs to tell his team is different than the objective reality of things.
Okay.
And so I don't think that you would ever tell your team next Thursday's game is more important than this weekend's game. Coach Schmetzer knows for sure that next Thursday's game is a lot more significant in the long run than this weekend's game is. But it's a difference between what you tell your team to get them in the right mindset and to develop the type of attitude you want your side to take into every match they play, and the practical realities of the logistical decisions that you make between these next 2 matches. And I think you'll definitely see that the emphasis is skewed towards Leon, as any rational club would do in this situation.
I don't think so. It'd be interesting for us to see that. I think the Sounders need to win on Saturday, and that's what's on task. I think you deal with that later, but this is why we have these discussions. It'd be interesting to see. Let me say that. Well said. It'd be interesting to see if they do emphasize Saturday's game, or it's more of an eye, like you said, in terms of Thursday. I think it'd be more interesting to see that. Quick updates. I think that Raul Diaz is an abductor, which is kind of a hip thing, and he said, Ladero. And he said he does have kind of an adductor, which is okay because that's kind of an outside hip thing. But more pressing was Alex Rodan. He said that he hurt his
foot injury. A foot injury, and that was rather vague.
Of course, he's going to be vague, and that's from here to there. So that's probably the most kind of coaches are going to be vague. They said they're going to have tests on him, so we won't know. And other than that, gentlemen, well done.